And we welcome you to the Raleigh County Convention Center, Dave Barksdale Court, as we get you ready for the final game of the evening, which has been a full fested morning, afternoon, and now night of college and now high school basketball. It's the Bees of East Fairmont, 14-3 against the Flying Eagles of Beckley. They're 6-7. Hello again, everybody. I'm Maris Lowry. My partner, Eric Thomas, will join me in just a minute. But until he gets here, we have Bill O'Brien. And, Bill, this is the second meeting only between these two teams, and I'm told that the last time they played, you and I did the game on radio, and neither you and I remember it.
You know, I don't remember what I had for breakfast, so I can't remember that far back. But, yeah, if they say we did it, we did it.
Well, they said it happened back in 02 or 03, and you and I were doing Beckley games on radio at that time, and they said it was in this building, so you and I had to do it.
I guess we did, and I guess we had a good time doing it.
Yes, and Beckley won that, so that was the only time that these two teams had played until they get ready to battle tonight. But, you know, another thing that's kind of, I guess, odd about this, that East Fairmont, they have two kids on their team, brothers, they're twins, and their last name is Beckley. How about that?
That's amazing. That is just so much fun. You know, and taking a look at East Fairmont, and I keep wanting to say Fairmont East, no, because there's Fairmont West, and those two schools have been major rivals over the years. But, you know, Fairmont West was the athletic school in that city for years, and now East Fairmont is getting their just desserts.
Well, now you can't even call them Fairmont West. They go by Fairmont Senior. So if you call them Fairmont West, they might get upset. But as we take a look at these teams, East Fairmont is having one of their better years. They come into the ball game, as I mentioned on top, they're 14-3. But, Bill, they started the year 1-2, and those two losses right at the first year were to North Marion. They lost that 86-77, and they lost to Cabell Midland 75-54. But since then, they're 13-1, and that gets them to 14-3, and they've won 11 of their last 12. Their only loss in that span was a 2-point loss to a very good Bridgeport team, 53-51.
Well, you know, when you take a look at East Fairmont, and we're really glad to have them down here because they do have a good program and good people. You know, it's great talking to the coaches and realizing that, you know, their program in sports at East Fairmont is now reaching right up there where it ought to be, right near the top. They are in AAA. You know, it used to be that both Fairmont schools were in the big class, and now with the loss of population, why, they're not. But anyway, they are both forces in 3A, and of course Beckley still in Quad A.
Well, yeah, another thing that changed that is because, you know, it used to be three classes, and like you said, both Fairmonts were in AAA at that time, but loss of population, not just there, but pretty much throughout the whole state except for the Eastern Panhandle. Yeah. Now you've got four classes. But, you know, you look at this Beckley team, Bill, they're 6-7, and really, I don't know, I think if you had to describe this Beckley team, I think the one word would be inconsistent. You know, they got off to a tough start. That they were 2-5. They got hot. You know, they won 4 straight. They got to 6-5, and now they've lost their last 2. They're 6-7. Of course, like everybody else, they went through that 2-week stretch where they didn't get to play, didn't get to practice because of the terrible weather we had throughout West Virginia.
Yeah, you know, they lost their last game on the road at Greenbrier East, and yeah, I listened to some of that game on radio, and it was just so frustrating. You know, Beckley got down in a hole, and then they made their way up out of the hole. Looked like they were going to make things happen, and they didn't at crunch time.
Well, their last 2 losses on the road, as you mentioned the other night, Thursday night at Greenbrier East, losing that game 49-45, and then they lost at Capital the game before that on the road, and they scored in the 40s in that game. So the last 2 games, they haven't even got to 50, and I think if they're going to win tonight, they've got to get 50 or better.
No doubt about it. Well, now, Coach, congratulations. The East Fairmont girls coach, James Beckman, just coming over and saying hi. And what a great guy. We enjoyed talking with him. And, of course, he's got to be happy. His Lady Bees came from behind in the last quarter and defeated the Beckley Lady Eagles 61-55. By the way, Maris, for those who did not catch all of the games earlier, we might as well do that before we go to our first break. It started out with College, Brescia from Kentucky. The women came in and they came from behind in the last quarter and beat WVU Tech's women's team 89-83. Then the men's teams played, and Tech held off Brescia 79-78. Then it was high school time. The girls' JV teams played, and East Fairmont won big over Beckley. Then the boys' JV teams played, and the boys for Woodrow defeated East Fairmont 70-42, and Beckley's JV remains undefeated. So now you're up to date.
All right, so both teams out on the floor warming up, and they've cut the time from 20 to 15 minutes. We'll take our first commercial break, come back and get you ready for the opening tip here, like I said, in about 13 minutes between 14-3, the Bees of East Fairmont against the 6-7 Beckley Flying Eagles here on Video Productions.
Before you hit the Hatfield-McCoy Trail, fuel up the way West Virginians do at Little General Store. From the trail snacks to cold drinks and fuel to keep you rolling, we've got everything you need before you head into the hill. We're proud to be part of your ride, rooted in West Virginia and built for the backwoods. Little General Store, fuel your adventure for West Virginia.
This new year, give your home a fresh start with a brand new view from Window World at Beckley.
At Window World, we believe all homes deserve comfort, energy savings, and style all year long.
With our energy-efficient windows and doors, Window World has you covered.
Give your home the view it deserves this year with new windows and doors from Window World at Beckley. New year, new view with energy-efficient windows from Window World at Beckley.
Call today, 1-800-WINDOW-WORLD
For your free in-home estimate.
Hey, my name's Paige, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the crispiness of the breading and the tenderness of the filet. It's tasty, it's warm, it's total satisfaction.
Hi, this is Tanya, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is that warm bun, the perfectly seasoned chicken, and that pickle. Woo! I love it. There's a taste of my childhood in every bite.
We gave a future driver a first look and asked what he thinks makes a good truck. These trucks aren't just for today's drivers, they're for future ones too.
There's a compartment here, great leather seats, a bunch of charging ports, has everything pretty much.
Now it's your turn.
Since I'm too young to do business in the front, I have to do party in the back.
Come to Midstate Ford and drive off in a new truck, cool enough to earn backseat approval. Midstate Ford, home of the Big John deals.
And we welcome you back to the Raleigh County Convention Center, Dave Barksdale Court. Both teams going through their warm-ups. The Bees of East Fairmont, 14-3. The Flying Eagles, they are 6-7. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Exit Elevation Realty. If you're in the market to buy or sell your home, you can contact the folks at Exit Elevation Realty. That is Luke Richmond, the broker, Steve Morgan, the associate broker. You can check them out on the website, how you can contact them at exitelevationwv.com. Also, the game tonight brought in part by Edward Jones, your financial advisors. In Edward Jones, they have 4 great financial advisors that whether you're retiring, changing jobs, whatever the case may be, they can talk you through your financial goals. And they are Brooke Dempsey, Ben Worley, Heather Cantley, and Tracy Howell. And Hart's Cabinets is a proud sponsor of local high school sports. Located in MacArthur, have quality custom cabinets. You can dial them up 304-252-2917. And also the game brought to you by Leisure Lanes, Johnstown Road in Beckley. They are a 24-lane bowling center with a full-service restaurant. Bring your family, join the league, book your next birthday party or any celebration at the bowling alley at Leisure Lanes, 304-253-7328. Well, we got Eric Thomas has made his way back over here to the broadcast table. And Eric, you know, when we first came on, we had Bill filling in for you while you were doing the parenting thing. I know this is a bittersweet night for you as being a parent of one of the lassies, your daughter Lexi, in this senior class, and you know, doing your thing as a parent, now ready to do your thing as a broadcaster.
Yeah. Now it's not bittersweet. I still have one more to go to. That'll be the tough one during track season. But that earlier game, man, it got my juices flowing as East Fairmont made a great comeback to take the first victory over the Lady Flying Eagles, and I think this one is going to match this matchup will be just as nice.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about with Bill and I, and now we'll bring you into this, Eric, East Fairmont comes into the ball game. They are 14-3. They started out 1-2 with losses to North Marion and Cabell Midland. 2 of the first 3 games, those losses, losing to North Marion 86-77 and to Cabell Midland 75-54. But since then, they are 13-1, and that gets them to 14-3, winning 11 of their last 12. And in that stretch, that only loss was a 2-point loss to a very good Bridgeport team, 53-51.
Yeah, and they also, I ran through their schedule, a common opponent matchup. Beckley went and squeezed out a victory against Buchanan Upshur, a 4-point victory, and East Fairmont blew the doors off of Buchanan Upshur, who looks to they're what you could consider a state tournament contender type team in 4A.
Yes. And on the flip side, Beckley, I'm going to see if you agree with me. What I told Bill while you were out there, doing your parenting thing, I think if you had to describe Beckley in one word, the word would be inconsistent, because they got off to a slow start. They were 2-5. They won 4 in a row. Looked like they were getting it turned around. And I know they went through a 2-week drought, as everybody did, because they couldn't practice, couldn't play. But these last 2 games, both on the road against tough teams, Capital, and then the latest game on the road, Greenbrier East, Beckley having a hard time scoring as they never got out of the 40s. And as I said to Bill, and I think you'd agree, if Beckley's to win tonight, they got to get out of the 40s.
Yeah, and everybody went through it, but I think it was one of those times where it was a real bad timing for Beckley, because you can remember January 20th, they beat a very good Martinsburg team here, scored 86 points. I
got it right here in front of me. You're right, 85-58.
Yeah, they scored 85 points, clicking on all cylinders, and that's when the weather came, and you don't get to practice. You needed to ride that momentum, and as you stated, they got off to slow starts the last 2 contests, dug deep holes.
Right.
And it takes a lot of energy, especially on the road, to try to come back from being down 17-4 or whatever they were.
And, Beckley's had some quality wins. When they were 2-5, they beat South Charleston 64-63. And to me, that was significant, because they won that by 1 point when they lost all those other games earlier before that, losing by 1 or 2 points. And then they beat a very good Graham team, 73-65. And like you said, they beat Martinsburg. Then the snow came, and then they weren't able to practice. And then, like I said, they've dropped their last 2 on the road at Capital and East. But this is a big challenge for Beckley here tonight.
Yeah, a very big challenge. And we always said, and this is no slight to East Fairmont, but the reason they wanted to schedule this game, they thoroughly think they're going to come in and win the game.
That's right.
And that's why you schedule this type of game when you schedule it.
Well, East Fairmonters went off the floor. They've gone through the warm-ups. Beckley continuing theirs. We'll take another break, and we're a little more than 5 minutes away from tipping the game off between East Fairmont 14-3 and Beckley 6-7. We'll be right back here on Video Productions.
Choice Pre-Owned Auto Sales is a proud supporter of all our area middle school and high school athletics. Direct Choice Pre-Owned Auto Sales keeps a huge selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs with some of the best prices in southern West Virginia. We also have several lenders for your financing needs. Direct Choice Pre-Owned Auto Sales and your student athletes, a winning combination.
At Access Health, many of our physicians begin their journey here. They trained with us, grew with us, and chose to stay. Because Access Health isn't just where their careers began, it's where they found home. Here, caring means more than medicine. It's knowing your patients and being part of their lives. They've grown with Access Health and with the community that welcomed them. What sets Access Health apart isn't just the care we give, it's the people who grow with us and the community we call home. Access Health. When the need grows, so do we.
If you're struggling with payroll problems, compliance confusion, or HR headaches, it's time to discover Compliance, the trusted solution for a healthier, stress-free business. With Compliance, you will experience faster, error-free payroll, effortless compliance with labor laws, and expert HR support and guidance. Don't let workplace stress take over. Ask your business if Compliance is right for you. Side effects may include reduced stress, increased efficiency, improved morale, and a strong reliance on compliance. Consult Compliance today. Compliance, because a better business starts with a better you.
Hey, grab me one too. grow again. Pioneer Community Bank is proud to offer a network of banks right here in our communities. By offering you more locations, Pioneer continues to meet all your banking needs where you are. Please stop by our new Harper Road location. We are truly investing in Southern West Virginia. Pioneer Community Bank. Friendly service, great products. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I never thought this would happen.
When disaster takes control of your life, we got you. Get it back with a single call to the team that shows up fast to make things right. Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Infinity Coal Division, located in Sophia, West Virginia, as they take pride in producing coal that fuels progress and around the world. From the heart of coal country, United Coal delivers resources that strengthens industries and communities. Also, the game tonight brought to you in part by Pasquale's Italian Restaurant. They have all your favorite Italian dishes, plus salads and seafood and more. Give them a call, 304-255-5253. And brought to you by Pepsi of Southern West Virginia. You got to have a nice ice-cold Pepsi in the blue can, the dyed Pepsi in the silver can, or Pepsi Zero in the black can. And then the game tonight also brought to you in part by Modley's Plumbing and Heating. If you have a plumbing and heating problem, you need to call Modley's. Easy number to remember, 304-253-HELP. One of the other things, Eric, while you were out with your lovely wife, Regina, and escorting your young, beautiful daughter, Lexi, during senior event tonight, we talked about it's kind of ironic that this is the second meeting between Beckley and East Fairmont, the Bees, and East Fairmont. They have two twins, two brothers that are twins, and their last name is Beckley. How about that?
Yeah, that's going to be, a little dilemma when people are watching and listening that says Beckley scored.
Yeah,
and they say, well, why are they putting it on the other side?
Or how about Beckley over Beckley, right?
Yes.
But, as we look at these teams on paper, for East Fairmont, they have 3 double-digit scores. They're led in scoring by Caden Cooper, 6'3". He averages 20 a game. They had Hudson Brand. He's 6'1" at 14 a game. And then River McLean, he comes in at 13. On the flip side, you look at Beckley. Preston Clary has really been Mr. Everything. Even though he didn't have the kind of game against East that he'd love to have, and maybe for Capital too, he comes in averaging 18 a game. He's shooting 51 of 61 from the free throw line, and Preston Clary is 21 of 45 from downtown.
Yeah, I mean, that's shooting the ball really well. But the one thing that I think he needs to do moving forward is he has to be, you within the offense, but you have to be that guy. And what I mean by that, you have to be not scared of the moment. Take the shot, because I'd rather for you to take it, than to pass up on it.
And also for Beckley, the only other double-digit average score is Robinson, and he had a big game up at Greenbrier East. And I've seen him have some big games, and he's coming in at 10 points a game. And then, of course, Gage Burdett with 8, right on the cusp of double figures.
Yeah, the thing I like about Robinson, he doesn't – I don't think he has the capacity – even when he misses a shot, to think that the next one's not going in. And that's what shooters do, right?
Right.
You got to move on to the next. Well, I missed that one. I will get the next one, maybe the next 2, and he can heat it up really fast.
Yeah, one of the things you and I, we had nicknamed him the microwave from back in the bad boy days of the Detroit Pistons, Vinnie Johnson. Well, like I said, East Fairmont 14-3. They have won 11 of the last 12. Carter Default is their head coach. And, Eric, you have their starting lineup.
Yeah, they'll go this way. And as you stated, they'll be led by Caden Cooper. He averages 20 points a game, 3 double-figure scores. They have Austin Taylor, Hudson Brand at 14 points a night, and River McLean at 13. And rounding out the starting lineup is Jackson Conaway Marison. He looks like he has some size.
Yeah, 6'5".
6'5", so that's going to be a load for Beckley. On the glass, probably.
Now, Beckley, as we take a look, they're celebrating senior night. So normally Jones, Beckley's big 6'7" center, Isaiah Jones, normally has been starting. He's not in the starting lineup tonight. And it looks like they will go with a senior-led lineup. And we'll wait and see. We know that Preston Clary is going to start at 18 a game. Lucas Rainey comes in at 7 points a game. They turn off the lights. And if I can get your phone And also, it looks like they're going to start Owen Gunner because obviously he's a senior. And A.J. Thomas will start. A.J. Thomas averaging 6 a game, but he's really shot the ball really well from downtown. 13 of 28 on the year for threes. And the fifth player, who am I looking for? The fifth player.
Jaden Robinson.
Jaden Robinson into the starting lineup. He normally comes off the bench. He's at 10 points a game. So the Flying Eagles with veteran head coach Ron Kidd. And for Beckley, they've got 2 more home games, by the way. The Beckley game that was scheduled to be played as a makeup game against George Washington this coming Wednesday, the 18th, that has been now moved to the final game of the regular season. It'll be played on March the 4th. So what that does for Beckley, Eric, Beckley will have to have a makeup game on Tuesday, March the 3rd at Cabell Midland, come back and play George Washington the next night, Wednesday, March the 4th.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a tough back-to-back type of nights because those 2 teams, Cabell Midland and George Washington's in conversation for like 1 and 1A best teams in 4A.
Well, not only that, Eric, before they go that back-to-back, they've got a tough back-to-back when Shady and Beckley will play back-to-back on the 23rd and 24th.
Yeah.
They'll play Monday the 23rd, which is the makeup game at Shady. Then we'll come here and play the regular season game, which is the makeup, which is a regular, like I said, regular scheduled game with Beckley. All right. Beckley always does this. They're the last team always to come out getting their final instructions from Coach Ron Kidd.
It's tradition.
Yes, it is. And the opening tip of the ball game is brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Scotty Brown, your local State Farm agent. You can dial him up at 681-238-6130. So in the center circle, let's see, Beckley will have Gunner in the center circle getting the start on senior night. And for the Bees, it will be Jackson Conaway. And we talked about him, Eric. He is 6'5". So you got 6'5" and 6'6" in the center circle. Jay Rutledge puts the ball in the air. The tip is controlled by East Fairmont going to the basket to our left. So how about this? Looks like Beckley playing a little zone to start off with.
Now, is this Friday the 13th right here? Because
well, yesterday was.
Zone. I know, that's what.
Yep.
Something going on.
A little new wrinkle in because Beckley doesn't play zone hardly at all. And there's a 3-ball shooting over top of the zone is Taylor to knock it down.
Austin Taylor said, hey, you didn't mention me as one of the leading scorers, but I can get it going.
A.J. Thomas with a scoop and a score to the basket. So each team scores on their first possession. 3-ball for East Fairmont. And a little scoop, as I mentioned, by A.J. Thomas for Beckley.
And it looks like they may have gone, still a little matchup. It looks like A.J. Thomas is sinking and trying to help.
East Fairmont straightaway 3 on its way. That won't go as Preston Clary clears the rebound. That was Hudson Brand that put that up. And Beckley with the ball. And here's Robinson. And he dials up a 3, and he hits right down the chute.
And Jaden Robinson continues that torrid shooting because he knocked down 3 3-pointers in the fourth quarter against Greenbrier East.
And he does well. You know, he's able to catch. He doesn't hesitate as that 3 is way off. That 3 put up by Taylor and Beckley on the attack, but they turn it over.
And that's where A.J. Thomas's head was his eyes led him wrong because there was not a passing lane right there. But I still like the way he wanted to push.
Cooper, the team's leading scorer, 20, misses that little short shot right of the lane. Here's Rainey. He's not shy, and he shoots it a little strong, a 3-ball. And here come the Bees of Fairmont.
And, you know, Lucas Rainey, I like to see that because he can heat up. We've seen a couple of games throughout his career where he's been really big behind the three-point line.
Here's a 3 in front of us, and that 3 is good. Nice shot by River McLean, and East Fairmont back in front. And Beckley almost turned it over, and now there's a reach-in foul. We'll have our first foul of the game.
And that looks like that's going to be on McLean.
Yep, he'll be his first, team's first.
You know, and usually that happens, Maris, when you think you should have had a steal and you didn't get it, the second reach always gets you.
So Beckley will inbound across the way, side out. And ball will come in to A.J. Thomas in the backcourt. Beckley trying to get off the snide of a 2-game losing streak. Losing to Capital and Greenbrier East. They're 1 game under 500. And East Fairmont's been hot, like I mentioned, on top. They have won 11 of their last 12. Here's Preston Clary on 1-on-1. trying to muscle his way in, and it's blocked, and there will be a foul, and that'll get Preston Clary to the line.
Yeah, and I think Preston Clary was bailed out a little bit right there. He's a little tentative. That's going to be on Caden Cooper, but he gets to the free throw line, as you mentioned, where he's 51 of 61 on the year.
Yep. And if I'm trying to do that percentage in my head, that's high 80s. I'd say,
So
I'm just guessing. I got to say
like 80,
86, 87,
yeah.
something like that is Clary at the free throw line, and the first free throw is good. Yeah, in the two losses that Beckley suffered to Greenbrier East Thursday and then Capital the week before, he did not have the kind of games that Coach Kidd needs from him when you go on the road to play those type of teams, as he makes one of two and the game stays tied.
And that's what we call jinx.
So he was 51 of 61. That makes him
52 of 62.
That's right. Even I can do that, right? Here's a 15-footer straight away. That shot is off.
52 of 63.
Yeah, and that shot was put up by Cooper. And here comes Beckley on the attack.
And I think Beckley needs a little more look to score in transition, and that's going to be
ball deflected out of bounds.
Yes.
Yep. So team's kind of settling in. We're right about 3 minutes into the game.
Can be happy about, because this is getting off to a decent start for him.
Yeah, like you said, they really, as Beckley cannot get it in, they turn it over. Yeah, they were down to Capital big in the first quarter. They were down to East big in the first quarter. As Rainey trails the play and tries to get a block, but the three ball is good by Taylor.
And 2 threes in the first 4 minutes for Taylor.
Gunner in the low post. Little half hook. He left it short. And here's East Fairmont on the move. Here's Cooper. Pull up. And he needs a roll. He won't get it. And Gunner clears the rebound for Beckley. 4.5 remaining opening quarter. Second meeting ever between these two schools. Robinson left open, and he needs a roll, and he won't get it. That ball rolled around and wouldn't stay down.
Well, good-looking shot. Looked true when it left his hands. Can't give him those kind of looks.
Yeah, he was wide open. He looked like he came off a screen, and nobody adjusted to it. Here's a drive by Fairmont.
Yeah.
We got a whistle and a foul.
Yeah, Rainey.
Yep.
Kind of rode.
And that'll be the first foul of the game on Beckley. Rainey's first. And it'll be out of bounds for the Bees up under their own basket. Ball comes in to Taylor, and they turn it over.
Owen with the steal, quick hands.
Halfway through this first quarter, Robinson steps into a three, and it won't go. That looked good when it left his hands.
Yeah, you step. That's what you do. You step on a nice pass.
Down low, little short shot. It won't go. Good defense by Robinson, and there's a foul on the missed shot.
And that's 2 on McLean. Sorry to overtalk you.
The original missed shot was by Conaway.
Yes.
And now 3 team fouls on the Bees, and checking into the lineup will be Beckley, right?
Yeah,
Jason Beckley, 6 foot. So Beckley playing against Beckley. How you like that? You know, Eric, of all the years that I've been broadcasting, 36 years, I don't ever recall that. I remember doing a game one time where Westside was playing Mount View, I think, and there were like 3 cooks on one team and 2 tollers on another.
Yeah,
they were in there passing the ball to one another, right?
If you're down in Westside area, you're going to get some cooks and some tollers.
Yeah. Clary with the left hand, and it won't go. He left it short, hit the front of the rim.
Looking for the contact. You got to play through that, and I think that was more of the rim than the defender. Nice move, just got to finish.
Here's an open look for 3, and it won't go. That 3 is put up that time by Taylor. That was a good look. Taylor, a 14-point-a-game scorer. Here's Rainey back the other way. Clary got a little space. He'll dial up a 3 and knock it down. Clary entered the game shooting 21 of 45 from downtown, and he rattles that one in to tie the game. Here's Brand with it. Beckley still back in that zone. But, you know, even though the tight, I think the pace of the game favors East Fairmont. Into the lane, the little short shot is short by Brand.
Good challenge by Owen.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the minutes he's played, he's really not. Stepping to the 3, Rainey.
Rainey dials up a 3 and knocks it down. Beckley's hit back-to-back 3s.
Man, you love to see that young man, you know, who stayed and stayed the course with the Beckley program, man, and it's good to see him make some shots.
They get the ball down low, back out. Good ball movement by East Fairmont. Here's a 15-footer straight away. Back iron. Won't go by Cooper. The ball's loose on the floor. Good hustle by Owen Gunner. And it's a held ball, and the arrow will keep it with Beckley. And, you know, when you hustle like that, you hope that you can get possession of the ball.
Well, I mean, how many times do you not see him get on the floor? I mean, he's going to come out, but he gave them a solid 6 minutes.
That's right. So with 2:07 remaining in the opening quarter, Beckley dips into its bench. And normally Gage Burdett, who normally starts and averaging 8 a game, is in there. Also Clark into the lineup. He comes in averaging 5 a game. And also you got Wines into the ball game.
And Wines, his minutes have picked up here lately because he does a lot of what they call the dirty work.
Clary puts up the short shot just inside the three-point line. It won't go. And back the other way comes East Fairmont. Now looks like maybe Beckley, out of that man-to-man a little bit now. Eric, looks like they're going to play man-to-man, into man-to-man, not zone. And there's a three-point play opportunity. Count the basket. Nice spin on the baseline. That was a nice play by Cooper. You can see why he's the team's leading scorer at 20 a game.
Yeah, he kind of put Gage Burdett in the spin cycle.
Yep.
Gage got a little aggressive, did a great job sliding his feet, but it was the body that got him, as you saw in the replay.
Yeah. Checking into the lineup will be Larry Nichols for East Fairmont. So at the free throw line will be Cooper, and he'll try to polish off a three-point play and try to tie the game. Cooper's free throw on its way. And you figure if you can average 20 points a game, Eric, you're normally a pretty good free throw shooter, you would think, right?
Yeah,
and
because
Cooper showed that he was there.
To get that scoring average up, you got to make the freebies.
So we're all even. Minute and a half remaining opening quarter. Here's A.J. Thomas with it. Preston Clary backs it out, hands it to Burdett. Burdett behind his back, really nowhere to go. They get the ball inside. Clark, head and shoulder fake. Pulls up, and he can't knock it down.
Way to elevate, just not able to finish right there. Good entry pass from A.J. Thomas. Tough defense by the Bees.
And here's Brand with it. Work the ball over to Cooper. Cooper holds, looks, and get the ball down in the post. And a little turnaround, short shot missed. That was point blank, and then a foul committed. And the foul's going to be on Nichols. That'll be his first, team's fourth. But, boy, that was just a short shot there that the Bees had and missed a point blank.
Larry Nichols picks up what's usually a frustration foul after a close miss like that, and that's 4 team fouls.
So here's Beckley with it, trying to regain the lead on this possession. Clary on a drive into the lane. They cut him off. Wines on the baseline drive. Nowhere to go. Burdett. And what they'll call a travel, and Beckley turns it over. So with 28.5 seconds remaining opening quarter, game tied at 12. Let's see if East Fairmont will hold it for the final shot of quarter number one. And like I said, Eric, I think the score, the pace, everything, I think favors East Fairmont.
Yeah, it does. But the way the Beckley team has been playing, you said they're going to need to get up in the
I think they're going to get out of the 40s to win the game. And let's see, it looks like East Fairmont will hold it for the final shot, coming up on 10 seconds left in the first quarter.
Good switch right there, switching all.
Here's Nichols with it. He'll hand it to Cooper. Cooper's got space, dials up a three. It won't go. Battle for the rebound. Clark skies high for the rebound, and that's the end of the first quarter. We're all even at 12 apiece. We played one, and the second quarter on the other side of the break here on Video Productions.
Take care of this by the end of the day.
Sure, I'll take care of that. Done.
It's that easy with compliance. Compliance. We've got your back office.
I never thought this would happen.
When disaster takes control of your life, we got you. Get it back with a single call to the team that shows up fast to make things right. Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
And here in between quarters, official/ref Jay Rutledge is getting an award for his services of 38 years as a high school basketball official. He's retiring at the end of this year. one of the real good guys. You know, he's a graduate of Beckley Woodrow Wilson High School. And, Eric, you and I have known him a long time. And, you know, working with Don Burton and also Grog helped me remember his first name. And we know him, but you know how it is, all of it runs together. But anyway, congratulations to –
I'm just messing with you. Justin Grog.
Justin Grog, yes. Yes, I knew that. Anyway, congratulations to Jay Rutledge. All right, tied at 12. It's back to basketball as we start the second quarter. And the Bees will have the first possession of quarter number 2. You know, Eric, you've been doing games and for a while, but maybe not as long as I have. But
definitely not as long as you.
All of it runs together. Games, dates.
But you do a good job.
Well, I appreciate that. Trying to remember, and I got to take something out of my mind to put something back in, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of unnecessary things up there.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, everything's in my head except for what isn't, and that shot is short. And there comes Beckley with their first possession of quarter number 2. Now it looks like the Bees in a zone. Here's Clark with it. A.J. Thomas thinking about a 3. Clary says, I'm going to do more than think. I'm going to shoot it, knock it down, and Beckley back in front. So Beckley hitting the 3 with Preston Clary. A nice drive into the lane. The little short shot up by Cooper won't go, but an offensive rebound. And another chance for the Bees. A little runner off the glass. Too hard, and Clary comes out of there with it. That time that was Brand who missed that little runner. And here's Burdett.
Can't second guess yourself. They had Kingston on the cut. Clark.
And there's a 3 that's not there by Preston Clary.
Yeah, wide open. You got to take that look, right?
Here's Brand with it. They double team him. And Cooper has it. And you got Taylor standing wide open over in front of us. He's over here flagging him down. Hey, I'm open. And they never got him the ball. There's a foul on Beckley.
J.W. Wines picks up on the reach.
His team's first of this second quarter.
But they're doing it wrong. This is it is by quarter now.
Yes, yes. As Jackson,
the college game messed me up today.
Yeah, we had a college game today.
Have to
refocus as Jackson Conaway checks back into the lineup for the Bees. Here in the near corner, a 3 on its way. It's short. That 3 put up by McLean. Battle for the rebound, and Conaway able to come out of there with it for East Fairmont. That's one thing too, Eric. East Fairmont has been getting some offensive rebounds.
Second chance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beckley's gotten out of that zone to play man-to-man.
And it seems like they've picked up the pace a little bit. Nice scoop.
Yes, nice little scoop shot right of lane by Cooper.
Cooper able to get the first bucket of the second quarter.
And there's a East Fairmont foul. And that'll be the first foul this second quarter on the Bees.
Hudson Brand picks up his first and the team's first of the second quarter.
So it'll be side out for Beckley right there between the scorer's table and the East Fairmont bench. And here's Burdett as he looks over the zone. They get the ball down low to Wines. He whips it past to Preston Clary. Clary is able to score. That's a nice play by Clary as he was able to kind of hesitate there, Eric, and kind of reestablish himself and then able to go up and score.
Yeah, and I thought he might have got too deep when he received the ball, but he was able to adjust and get it up and in. Is a nice 3.
There's a 3 for the tie. It won't go by Brand, but the ball's loose. They battle for the loose ball, and it's out of bounds. It'll stay here, or will it? Nope. There's a nice hustle by Preston Clary as he knocked the ball, looks like, off of one of the players of East Fairmont.
Didn't give up on it and threw it off the leg. And this could be the first run of the game, right, if Beckley's able to string back-to-back buckets.
5.5 remaining until halftime. And we got a whistle and a foul.
And that's one of those where you want back because that's Hudson Brand. That's 25, 26 feet away from the basket. No offensive threat right there.
Yeah. So that's
and aren't you in the zone?
Yeah, and that's the second team foul. Now the horn went off at the table. I'm not sure what that's about.
Yeah, me either.
And I don't think the officials are either. It'll be Beckley's ball. They'll inbound right in front of the East Fairmont bench, side out. As A.J. Thomas set to throw it in, and he'll throw the ball into Burdett. Whatever it was, and that might have just been a scores table error, but whatever it was, they got it straightened out.
Yeah, got his thumb in the way.
Could be, or his pinky. All right, here's Wines with it. Burdett into the lane, and he might have got away with a walk. He
Wow.
slid, didn't he?
Put on the brakes.
Yes. Here's a 15-footer from the left elbow. Is
Looked
good.
like Michael Jackson moonwalking forward.
Yes. And Beckley opened up a 5-point lead. And this is their biggest lead of the game. Cooper pulls up from 15. It won't go, and A.J. Thomas with the rebound.
Climbed the ladder, A.J. Thomas with the big rebound. Transition here.
Burdett down the lane, scoops up the shot with the left hand, and Wines had it, but I think he was out of bounds. It'll go over to East Fairmont.
Well, he touched it while he was out of bounds. Gage Burdett was inbounds.
Yeah. But East Fairmont, Eric, they've gotten cold. They've only scored 2 points here in this second quarter.
Yeah, they have, but the only thing is they're playing good defense and staying in the game with that D.
Here's Brand on the move. On the next dead ball, we'll see Beckley's fresh 6'7" freshman, Isaiah Jones. There's a drive. Count it if it goes in a foul. And that was a nice play. And he's stepping up to the free throw line to try to polish off a 3-point play.
Yeah, and A.J. Thomas was still moving on that as he picks up the foul, and McLean with a chance for an and one.
McLean, 6'2" junior, averaging 13 a game. As I mentioned, into the ball game for the first time, 6'7" freshman Isaiah Jones for Beckley. And, I thought maybe he might have been inserted a little earlier because of the offensive rebounding success that East Fairmont's had in his first half. So McLean,
yeah, he's definitely been coming on and a big asset on the glass.
He had been starting. Of course, he didn't start tonight because of senior night as McLean polishes off a 3-point play and gets the Bees within 2.
And now they'll extend the pressure here.
Yep. Going to make Beckley take care of the ball. And here's Burdett with it in the front court.
Well, they got him out of the zone now. And if you're Beckley, you got to be able to, run your offense and make some plays individually.
So getting ready to come up on the halfway point of this second quarter. Here's Wines on a baseline drive, tacks the basket. Shot is blocked from behind. There's a foul, and the foul will be on Conaway, and that'll get Wines to the line.
Must have been body low because up high that looked like a
looked clean, yeah, from here.
Clean block.
And as we watch the replay there, and as we watch it here, it looked like, I'm with you, Eric, it looked like it was definitely clean.
Maybe a hand in the small of the back, but make them earn it at the free throw line nonetheless.
And Wines' first free throw is good.
And this is one thing that let Beckley down for sure the other night. Green Bayou's played a well of the game, but Beckley, normally a good team, free throw shooting team, they made 10 out of 17.
Yeah, Beckley comes into the game tonight, Eric, shooting 78% as a team from the free throw line. As both free throws are made, as Robinson is also checked into the Beckley lineup. So here's McLean with it in the backcourt. And now he'll hand the ball over to Brand. There's East Fairmont with it. Beckley now out, as I said, playing man-to-man. Here's Cooper with it. Brand got the bigger guy on him and trying to take the big fella off the dribble. Jones does a good job staying in front of him.
Yeah, good half-court defense here. If you're Beckley, don't give up anything easy. They're really challenging the ball handlers, and I thought that was going to be a turnover, Marison.
McLean spins into the lane. Nice move. Little scoop. He left it short. Got his own rebound for a minute, and it'll stay with East Fairmont. But that was a nice move. McLean, he just couldn't get enough on it to get it up over the rim.
Yeah, did everything. Nice spin. Put him in the spin cycle and missed the bunny.
Now Brand finally gets the ball in out to McLean. McLean
Nice
on
ball
the drive.
fake.
And he'll be fouled on the drive.
And that'll be on Gage Burdett, impeding the progress of the dribbler.
So that'll be the third team foul. Each team has committed 3 team fouls. 3:06 for the half.
Great ball fake. Got Gage Burdett leaning a little bit.
And, Eric, right now, both teams are on pace not to get out of the 40s.
Yeah.
And if Beckley can win the game in the 40s, more power to them. I would say that I didn't think, and if they do that, they do that. But I would not have thought that, and they still may not. We still got, of course, obviously, a whole second half to go. As we come up on the 3-minute mark of the first half, Brand with a nice move. They cut him off. That's a tough shot of Followay. That was good on-ball defense that time by Preston Clary. And here comes Beckley with A.J. Thomas.
And once you get a stop, though, you got to make them pay offensively.
Clary ahead of the lane. Shaking and baking. Gets deep. They cut him off. A.J. Thomas will dial it up from downtown. It won't go. And nice rebound as Cooper able to sky high for the rebound for the Bees.
Don't hesitate, A.J. Thomas. Shoot that. When you catch it, shoot it in the flow of the offense, because when you think, you overthink, and you miss.
Yeah, A.J. Thomas entered the game as the ball was knocked in the backcourt. He entered the game 13 of 28 from downtown. So now 13 of 29. And there's a nice drive off the glass, a little too strong. That time by McLean. Here's A.J. Thomas running the break. Clary off the dribble. We get ready to go under 2 minutes for the half. Clary into the lane. They cut him off. Good defense by East Fairmont. Robinson, you know what he's going to do. He'll dial up the three. Actually, it is a three. I wasn't sure if he was behind the line. He was, and he got the friendly row.
Hey.
And biggest lead of the game right here at 7. A football score, 24-17.
So you know a young man like him, you know he was going to put that up.
Yeah, I
said
said
give him space.
You know what he was going to do. That's why I said you know what he's going to do.
I like the call.
Yeah, straight away a three doesn't go. That three by Brand, and right now they being East Fairmont, they have gotten cold. They've only scored 5 points in this quarter. Robinson, once again, no hesitation. That time it doesn't go. Wines with an offensive rebound. Down to A.J. Thomas, a little half hook, and it goes in.
A.J. in there with the trees. A.J. Thomas with the two. Credit J.W. Wines right there, though, for keeping the offensive going with the glass work.
Beckley opened up a 9-point lead, biggest lead of this first half as we get ready to go under a minute for the first half. Cooper on a drive. And pass it down low to Conaway, back outside.
Conaway needs to try to score that.
Yeah,
big man needs to. He was 5 feet from the basket.
Yeah, I said he was really deep when he caught the ball. Cooper will dial up a three and hit a much-needed three ball for East Fairmont. And that's a big, Eric, we talk about some of those momentum plays, and that could be a momentum play as Rainey will check back into the Beckley lineup. Because, you figure you're down 9. You don't score there. You could be down double digits, and now you hit a three and you're down 6.
Yeah, you're right back in it, and that's a big shot before, the half. And still with 38 seconds to go, you never know what could happen.
Jason Beckley will check into the lineup.
Back in.
So there's a Christian Beckley. He hasn't played yet. Now Jason Beckley into the lineup. As East Fairmont's going to put full court pressure. And Beckley just got it in time. As Robinson will bring it across the midcourt stripe. Robinson may have got away with a little offensive foul, a little push off there. Clary leans in. He just forced that. They're not going to bail him out on a play like that, and Beckley turns it over. Not a very good offensive possession for Beckley that time.
Yeah, that's something he forced, and that's a turnover.
Turnover. They had the play they wanted. They had the 6'5" Conaway open, and the pass just a little too tall for him.
Yeah, and if you're Clary, you gotta wave that off. But you're right, you can't get bailed out every time on a foul. You got to be a little stronger with the basketball.
And also into the ball game is Comas, and he's in there now for East Fairmont. So if you're Beckley, you're obviously going to play hold for the final shot of the half. It's A.J. Thomas, a little step back three, and it won't go. 4 seconds left. There's a steal. Clary puts it back up. It won't go, but he draws a foul with 0.7 left here in the first half.
Yeah, and credit the play of Lucas Rainey. He got the tip on the offensive glass, and this will be big for Beckley if Preston Clary can knock down these 2 free throws right here before halftime to extend the lead to 8.
Yeah, Clary is shooting in the high 80s.
It's 84%, yeah. 53 of 62. Yep. 63.
So that's what,
62.
84%?
Yes, 84%.
84%. Clary at the free throw line. First free throw on its way is good.
Let's just say pretty dang gone good.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, I think, any coach, high school or college, you get a guy shooting 84, 85%. I think anybody would take that. And that's very, very consistent. Clary trying to knock down the second, and that should get us to the locker room because with 0.7, you still can get a shot off, but it might have to be a heave from half court as Jones intercepts the inbounds pass, and that will get us to halftime. So at the break, Beckley outscored East Fairmont in that second quarter by 8 to take an 8-point lead. It's Beckley 28, East Fairmont 20. We'll take a break and come back and get you ready for the Direct Choice halftime show coming up next here on Video Productions.
Before you hit the Hatfield-McCoy Trail, fuel up the way West Virginians do. At Little General Stores. From the trail snacks to cold drinks and fuel to keep you rolling, we've got everything you need before you head into the hills. We're proud to be part of your ride. Rooted in West Virginia and built for the backyard. Little General Store. Fuel your adventure. West Virginia.
Hey, my name's Paige, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the crispiness of the breading and the tenderness of the filet. It's tasty, it's warm, it's total satisfaction.
Hi, this is Tanya, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is that warm bun, the perfectly seasoned chicken, and that pickle. Woo! I love it. There's a taste of my childhood in every bite.
Direct Choice Pre-Owned Auto Sales is a proud supporter of all our area middle school and high school athletics. Direct Choice Pre-Owned Auto Sales keeps a huge selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs with some of the best prices in southern West Virginia. We also have several lenders for your financing needs. Direct Choice Pre-Owned Auto Sales and your student athletes, a winning combination.
Welcome back here at Beckley as we're at halftime here in the Direct Choice Halftime Show. The Beckley Lady Lassies out performing here at the break, and Beckley has opened up an 8-point lead, and they have led as many as 9. It was back and forth in that first quarter. It was tied at 12 at the end of the first quarter, and it was 19-17 at one point in the second quarter. And then to close out the half, Beckley went on a 9-3 run, and with a 2-point lead, they extended the lead to 8, and that's what it is right now, 28-20. All right, we're going to take a halftime break here in the Direct Choice Halftime Show. When we come back, Eric will have the totals for you, team totals and individual totals, and we'll do that next here on Video Productions.
Before you hit the Hatfield-McCoy Trail, fuel up the way West Virginians do. A Little General Store. From the trail snacks to cold drinks and fuel to keep you rolling, we've got everything you need before you head into the hills. We're proud to be part of your ride. Rooted in West Virginia and built for the backyard. Little General Store. Fuel your adventure. West Virginia.
I never thought this would happen.
When disaster takes control of your life, we got you. Get it back with a single call to the team that shows up fast to make things right. Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Compliance helped me lose 50 pounds by freeing up tasks like payroll, HR, and bookkeeping. I'm now free to do what I want.
With compliance, you can do what you want to do. Compliance, we've got your back office.
Are you ready to turn your passion into a career? At New River Community and Technical College, we've got the programs to get you there. Dive into our food service and event management program. Learn skills from kitchen basics to business budgeting and become seasoned for success. Or if the great outdoors is calling, answer it with our outdoor recreation program. Receive hands-on training that readies you to lead, inspire, and explore. Whatever you're passionate about, we have a path for you. Visit newriver.edu today. Start here. Go anywhere.
Here we grow again. Pioneer Community Bank is proud to offer a network of banks right here in our communities. By offering you more locations, Pioneer continues to meet all your banking needs where you are. Please stop by our New Harper Road location. We are truly investing in Southern West Virginia. Pioneer Community Bank. Friendly service, great products. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We gave a future driver a first look and asked what he thinks makes a good truck. These trucks aren't just for today's drivers, they're for future ones too.
There's a compartment here, great leather seats, a bunch of charging ports, Has everything pretty much.
Now it's your turn.
Since I'm too young to do business in the front, I have to do party in the back.
Come to Midstate Ford and drive off in a new truck, cool enough to earn backseat approval. Midstate Ford, home of the Big John deals.
And we welcome you back into Beckley with Eric Thomas. I'm Maris Lowry, Cameron Ball producing and directing, and Chase Bowman on camera. Beckley led by as many as 9 in that first half. The lead is 8 now at the break, 28-20. We'll go inside the numbers of the first half. Inside the numbers are brought to you by Direct Choice Pre-Owned Vehicle Lot, located at 4631 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley. They have West Virginia's best selection and best prices on pre-owned vehicles. Direct Choice is a proud sponsor of high school athletics. Also, inside the numbers are brought to you in part by Allstate Insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate, and you're in good hands with Lori Richmond as your agent. Lori located at Market Road in Beckley, and you can dial Lori up at 304-252-8646. Well, Eric, you have the numbers of the first half.
Okay, and as expected, the two teams' leading scorers are Preston Clary and Caden Cooper, and we'll start with Cooper. Caden Cooper came in averaging 20, Maris, and he has 9 of the 20 points for the East Fairmont Bees. Austin Taylor has 6, and River McLean rounds out the scoring with 5. For Woodrow Beckley, they were led by Preston Clary with 13, Jaden Robinson 2 threes with 6, A.J. Thomas with 4, Lucas Rainey 3, and J.W. Wines rounding out the scoring with 2.
And, Eric, so look at the difference in the 3 balls made. How many East Fairmont made, how many threes they made, to how many Beckley made?
4 threes to 5.
So Beckley had 5.
And East Fairmont with 4.
So you figure 5 threes, I can do that math, that's 15. So almost, well, a little more than half. 15 of the team's 28 came from behind the arc, and you said 4?
Yes.
So that would be 12, and more than half.
Yes, more than half.
So more than half for both teams have been behind the arc.
They have, and that is the way it's really the second half, Maris, is going to be taking good shots. You know, not just relying on the threes, and we'll see who really what kind of adjustments both coaches make at the half.
Yeah, like I said, it was tied at the end of the first quarter, 12-12. Beckley led by as many as 9. In that second quarter, in the lead 8 now. And, Eric, I said throughout the course of the first half, I thought the pace of the game favors East Fairmont, but Beckley with an 8-point lead, 28-20. We'll take our final halftime break, come back and get you ready for the second half. You're watching live streaming coverage of exciting high school basketball here on Video Productions.
Before you hit the Hatfield-McCoy Trail, fuel up the way West Virginia used to. Little General Store. From the trail snacks to cold drinks and fuel to keep you rolling, we've got everything you need before you head into the hill. We're proud to be part of your ride, rooted in West Virginia and built for the backwoods. Little General Store. Fuel your adventure. West Virginia.
Hey, my name's Paige, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the crispiness of the breading and the tenderness of the filet. It's tasty, it's warm, it's total satisfaction.
Hi, this is Tanya, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is that warm bun, the perfectly seasoned chicken, and that pickle. Woo! I love it. There's a taste of my childhood in every bite.
Direct Choice Pre-Owned Auto Sales is a proud supporter of all our area middle school and high school athletics. Direct Choice Pre-Owned Auto Sales keeps a huge selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs with some of the best prices in southern West Virginia. We also have several lenders for your financing needs. Direct Choice Pre-Owned Auto Sales and your student athletes, a winning combination.
We're a couple minutes away from starting the second half. Beckley with an 8-point lead, 28-20. And, Eric, we want to give a shout-out to a near and dear friend of ours, a Beckley alumnus and also in the Beckley Football Hall of Fame, Mr. Tony Jones, as he's watching our broadcast in Westerville just outside of Columbus. And, Tony, want to give you a nice shout-out. I know Tony Jones remembers the days back when he was in high school and he was in this building. In fact, when he was I'm trying to think if it was his junior or senior year, because, like I said, all these years go together, and I was doing radio at the time, and he broke his wrist and he couldn't end up playing.
State championship team.
Yeah, so, well, then that would have been his state championship team was in 92 and 93.
Yes, he was.
So that would have been, I guess, the 93 team?
93, yep, 93 team. He broke his wrist because he graduated in 95, but he'd have been definitely a contributor on the team.
He'd have been on that 93 team that ended up winning the state championship. That was the year when Beckley was down 20 points to Brook going into the fourth quarter and came back and won.
I still think, there's been a lot of amazing games that I've watched at the state tournament. That was one of those where I didn't think they were going to win,
Well,
and a lot of people can say, I knew we were going to come back. No, you didn't. That was an amazing comeback.
The man who was a big part of that and has his name on the floor, Coach Dave Barksdale, I see him. He's here in attendance at the game tonight. But, Eric, let's shift things from the past to the present right now. 28-20, first of all, if you're in the East Fairmont locker room, what do you think coaches are telling their players of what East Fairmont's got to do to be able to come back and win this game?
Well, first of all, they got to get some shots up. That second quarter, I thought their offense went stagnant. Would you agree?
Yeah.
I think they were a little too tentative. They got to get out. And, the pace of the game is theirs, but when you're playing from behind, you got to get up good quality shots.
And if you're Beckley?
I think Beckley has to do a better job on the defensive rebounding. East Fairmont had a lot of shots that they left out, a lot of points they left out there because I think they out-rebounded the Beckley team on the defense, on the offensive glass.
Another thing I think will be important in the first 2.5 minutes of this third quarter, does East Fairmont close the gap or does Beckley get it into double digits and open up, 12, 13-point lead?
Yeah, and that's one of the things is, like you say, the first 4 minutes of the third quarter are always, make or break for both teams.
So coming up Monday, we're going to be very busy next week. You and I will be at Beckley, and we'll have a girls' game. It'll be Charleston Catholic and Beckley. Beckley will have to bounce back as East Fairmont, the girls, defeated Beckley 61-55. That was sparked by a 20-2 run from the second quarter into the third quarter, or maybe the third into the fourth. You and I didn't call it, but we were preparing for this game. But they got a nice team, the girls' team, and so does the boys' team. And we'll see if the boys' team can pull the same trick in this game as the girls did on Beckley the last game.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And if you're Beckley, you can't fall trap, literally and figuratively, to resting on your laurels. The first half doesn't win the game.
Also Monday, makeup game, it'll be Princeton Shady. That's an early tip. That'll be at Shady, and Bill O'Brien and Mark Montgomery will have that. That game will start at 5:30, and then we'll have the girls' game. It'll be Shady and Ripley to follow that. All right, here's Robinson to the rim, and he doesn't go. The tip won't go, and the ball is knocked out, and Robinson able to run it down the corner as Clark missed the tip. A.J. Thomas down the lane, and he leaves it down for Clark. A little short shot off the glass, and it won't go. That ball rattled around. Beckley had 3 good looks, Eric, and none of them went down.
Yeah, just tough luck on the offense, but just what the doctor ordered for the Bees as they probably knocked down. Oh, missed that 3. But I like they're getting in the flow of the offense, trying to get some shots up.
They turn it over, and here's A.J. Thomas trying to get the ball to Rainey. Preston Clary wide open, puts up the 3. It won't go. And Clark, very fortunate they didn't call him for a foul. He could have.
That was definitely a hack right there.
And here is McLean with it for East Fairmont. So a minute in, and neither team yet to score here in this second half.
And 4 good looks for Beckley.
Beckley now looks like they're going to be back in a zone. They go inside out. Spin into the lane, and the shot is up and in. That's a nice play that time by McLean, and the first 2 points of the second half belong to the Bees of East Fairmont.
Good offense, and did their job cutting into this 8-point lead, cutting into 6.
Here's Rainey with it. Clary on the baseline drive. Tacks the basket. The ball's blocked from behind. He thought he was fouled. No whistle. And here's Cooper with it. Cooper down the lane. Scoop shot up and in the first 2 hoops of the second half. And just like that, they've cut the lead in half from being down 8 to being down 4. As, like I said, the first 2 baskets of this third quarter, Eric, belong to the Bees.
And Beckley, 4 point-blank shots and missed a 3.
Robinson in the near corner.
And you can see they're closing out on Robinson big time.
A.J. Thomas, nice pass down to Clark, and Clark able to finish.
Way to draw and dish right there.
Yeah, it was a nice play. Clark. You know, A.J. Thomas, he had an open 3, but he didn't settle for the 3, and on the penetration he found Clark for the layup. On the baseline is McLean. Around the horn they go. Cooper with a nice ball move. Gets in, and there's a lot of contact. That's a blocking foul on A.J. Thomas.
That was pretty tight.
And watch the replay here. 5.5 remaining third quarter. As ball comes in to East Fairmont. McLean spins into the lane. Tough follow away, and looks good and is. That's a nice shot that time by River McLean. Here's A.J. Thomas with it. Get the ball down in the post. Clark spins, and he turns it over as it's a travel. And East Fairmont will have possession. Beckley will extend the pressure.
And East Fairmont outscoring Beckley 6-2 here to start the third quarter. And this is what this Beckley team does, man. They go on these droughts, and this is one of them.
So here's East Fairmont on the attack. Here's Brand with it as we come up on the 5-minute mark of the third quarter. Around the screen. Ball movement, McLean. There's a nice drive, head and shoulder fake, a little pull-up, good. Nice little shot under control by Austin Taylor, and just like that is East Fairmont, Eric, back within 2. And I said that first, 3 or 4 minutes of this second half.
Yeah, outscored them 8-2 in the first 4 minutes.
Come up and up on 4.5 minutes here in the third. Clark on a drive. Down low, they cut him off.
The spacing's poor right now from this Beckley offense.
Here's Clark in the lane, head and shoulder fake. Throw the ball back out. Robinson on a drive, stops. Clary open, dials up a 3 and hits.
Much needed three-pointer. Preston Clary.
Preston Clary goes right down the chute.
And a great look from Jaden Robinson, too. He drove in, probably would have got a shot blocked and stuck with it. Nice crossover.
Yeah, Brand with a nice move, and he finds Cooper, and Cooper for 3, and he rattles it in. East Fairmont back within 2. Clary with it. Cooper all over him, and that's an easy play to call, a reach in. They'll call that every time as Caden Cooper reaches in to pick up the foul.
And that'll be his second, team's first of the third.
They got him for 3, Eric, and that's big because as the type of offensive player he is, at 20 a game, the scoreboard says 3 fouls.
Yeah, and if we go with Fairmont, that one, mine is definitely unofficial.
Yeah, East Fairmont can ill afford to lose him. So 3.5 remaining third quarter. Beckley's led by as many as 9. The lead is 2 now.
And Cooper sets with 14 points.
Winds into the ball game for Beckley. They get the ball down low. Clark, tough shot. Can't get it to go. That was kind of an off-balance tough shot.
Yeah.
And McLean able to clear the rebound.
Good defense, standing your ground on that baseline jumper.
So East Fairmont can tie or they can get a lead. Depending on what they do, that little floater won't go. Clark with the rebound for Beckley.
Yeah, he was fading away a little bit on that shot.
Here's A.J. Thomas. Robinson to the baseline. Pull up. And it left it short. Conaway with the rebound for East Fairmont. And here's McLean. So East Fairmont can tie with the 2, take the lead with the 3. They get the ball down low post, and they thought there was a foul. No foul. Here's a run out. Wines catches it, goes in and lays it in with the left hand. East Fairmont was pleading for a foul in that last possession. And no whistle, and Beckley gets a run out, and Wines gets the layup.
Lot of contact on the undercut.
Here's a drive, And that time, Robinson with a little shiver got away with it. This looks like the college game you and I called earlier today. Is Cooper. That's definitely got – nope, they don't call that. And that shot is in and out. And the rebound is Conaway. Another offensive chance. And the ball's deflected. And it's run into the backcourt, and that's got to be a travel. A.J. Thomas, he slid about 12 feet, didn't he?
Hey, but it's actually
great hustle.
It's not actually wasn't a travel till he turned over.
Right. When he slid, he was good.
He was good.
But he couldn't help it, his momentum. But you got to love the hustle as Burdett will check back into the game.
Love the hustle.
But, Eric, I really thought that was a foul on the shot. It was a lot of contact on that shot.
But you know what? They've been letting them play.
They've been consistent. As Isaiah Jones will check into the Beckley lineup. Clark will come out. It was tied at 12 at the end of the first quarter. Beckley led by as many as 9 in the second quarter, led by 8 at the break, 28-20. And now East Fairmont has cut the lead in half, 35-31 from the halftime deficit, and trying to get a little closer with this possession. And that's a foul on Burdett.
Yeah, and that's big. He right inserted in, and he picks up his third foul as soon as he comes in. That's why I think he was being played sparingly, and unless I'm wrong.
Yep, they put 3 on the board. You're correct on that, as Larry Nichols will check into the East Fairmont lineup, and Taylor will put the ball in play.
And Nichols did a good job on the glass, or offensive glass.
Yeah. Well, he's in, I'm sure, to combat Jones. Jones in the lineup, and now they've got as I say, they had a mismatch there for a minute with Nichols in the post. The ball's knocked out of bounds, and it's a turnover, and it'll go over to Beckley.
And that was an unforced error right there by the dribbler. And they need to come help bring the ball up because they're putting pressure on the ball.
So the ball comes into Burdett. Burdett off the drive. Spins on the baseline. He lost it. Yep. Turned it over. And not a good possession for Beckley that time.
And both teams just made uncharacteristic.
Yeah. And Eric, this third quarter seems like there was parts of it. The start was okay, but it seems like it's kind of bogged down, right?
Yeah, and Beckley's not in double digits. That's money.
That's a 3, and you're right. That's money. Ring that bell from downtown is McLean, and East Fairmont now within 1. As we're getting ready to come up on the final minute here of this third quarter. Burdett off the dribble, nowhere to go. Wines at the head of the lane. Off the dribble, off the glass. It left it short, tipped up once, twice. Ball's loose. Burdett gets the loose ball into the lane, whips it down to Jones. Little short shot. He left it short, puts it back up, and he doesn't go, but he'll draw the foul and get to the line.
I think that's going to be whistled on Nichols.
Isaiah Jones, 6'7" freshman at the free throw line for Beckley, and he will shoot 2. And you're right, Nichols does pick up his second personal foul, team second. And Jones will shoot a pair.
Yeah, only 4 total fouls called in this quarter.
And the first free throw is no good. Only the second meeting ever between these two schools. They met, and no one seems to really remember what this 2002 or 2003, but I was told that, well, I know that if it was in one of those years, both free throws is missed, Bill O'Brien and we did the game on radio, but I don't remember it. But that's neither here or there. Final 40 seconds of the third. East Fairmont down to Nichols with a chance to take the lead, and they do. This is the first lead since it was 9-6 way back in the first quarter. And East Fairmont leads by 1. Final 25 seconds of the third. A.J. Thomas shaking and baking. Pull up 15-footer from the left elbow is good. And just like that, Beckley right back in front. And East Fairmont turns it over. So Beckley, Eric, with a chance to take the final shot of this third quarter.
Yeah, and this is a big turn of events if you're Beckley.
And that's why they put Rainey in, a three-point shooter.
That's right. You can drive and kick. You got a lot of things you can do here.
And Fairmont will dip into its bench. Comas will check into the ball game. A.J. Thomas will inbound the ball to Burdett. Last shot time of the third. The ball goes to Jones in the corner. We're down to 7. Rainey spots up 3 ball from the corner, and that's exactly why Coach Ron Kidd put him in the game, and he knocks down the 3. This will count. Oh. It won't count, but it won't count because it didn't go in. But Beckley's hit that 40 mark as we go to the fourth quarter, Eric. Beckley with a 4-point lead, 40-36. We'll be right back here on Video Productions.
Choice Pre-Owned Auto Sales is a proud supporter of all our area middle school and high school athletics. Direct Choice Pre-Owned Auto Sales keeps a huge selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs with some of the best prices in southern West Virginia. We also have several lenders for your financing needs. Direct Choice Pre-Owned Auto Sales and your student athletes, a winning combination.
This new year, give your home a fresh start with a brand new view from Window World at Beckley.
At Window World, we believe all homes deserve comfort, energy savings, and style all year long.
With our energy-efficient windows and doors, Window World has you covered.
Give your home the view it deserves this year with new windows and doors from Window World at Beckley. New year, new view with energy-efficient windows from Window World at Beckley.
Call today, 1-800-WINDOW-WORLD
for your free in-home estimate.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Cracker Barrel. They have delicious home-cooked meals, and I tell you, I had my pregame meal there the other day. Delicious food, and I tell you, you ought to try some of the fish they have. Also, if you love the meatloaf, delicious food. I had a little bit of rice, a little bit of green beans, cooked carrots, and just you can check out their menu by going to crackerbarrel.com. Well, Eric, East Fairmont cut into Beckley's lead, cut it in half. They were down 8 at the break, and they outscored Beckley 16-12 in that third quarter, and they'll have the first possession of quarter number 4, and they're down 4, 40-36.
Yeah, so it just comes down to this quarter, right? And you stated it. I think first team to 50 has a great chance to win the game.
Well, I said for Beckley to win the game, they got to get out of the 40s, and I think if they don't get out of the 40s, I don't think they'll win the game. And we'll see how it unfolds. As Nichols has it, he almost lost it, and he almost turned it over again. Here's Brand with it. Got the big guy out on him, Jones. 6'7" freshman out on Brand. And Brand's open, and he stepped out of bounds, I believe. Yes. When he caught the ball, I could see as I'm looking down I've got a clean look right down the baseline here, and he stepped out of bounds. And we had that in the college game, and you had mentioned it, and you said it's very common. And now what do we got? We got a foul on the inbounds play.
And that's going to be on Hudson Brand, and that'll be his third, team's first. You don't want that 90 feet away from the basket.
No. Especially to such a key player.
And that's an early foul to start the fourth quarter.
Right. So here's Burdett with it. So a turnover and a foul, if you're East Fairmont, obviously not the way you want to start the fourth quarter. And at any time and on the road, and especially when you're down 4. Clary gets around the defender, puts it up and in. That's a nice drive to the basket. And Beckley gets the first 2 points of this fourth quarter. Cooper with it on a drive, pull up, baseline shot, needs a roll, won't get it, and Burdett clears the board for Beckley.
Is it me, or does this look like the Beckley guys are sliding and slipping?
Rainey for 3, it's a little strong. Battle for the rebound, Preston Clary has it. Head and shoulder fake, left it short, and a nice rebound as Nichols comes in there and gets the board. Here comes East Fairmont.
It's a 5-point swing here.
There's a 3, it's short. Body's going everywhere, and East Fairmont able to keep the possession alive. Brand shaking and baking. He'll spot up 3 and go right down the chute.
And that's Hudson Brand's first points of the night. Big 3.
And they've cut Beckley's lead to 3. Coach Ron Kidd with 6.5 remaining in the ball game here in this fourth quarter wants a timeout. Let's see if we got a full timeout. We do, so we'll take it with them. 6.5 remaining fourth quarter. Beckley up 3, 42-39. We'll be right back here on Video Productions.
We asked the real experts what they think of our Chevys and GMCs, and they didn't hold back.
Come here. Come on. I like the noise of it.
They tested the seats, the screens, and the tires as well. Now it's your turn. Northside Chevy GMC, approved by kids, loved by everyone. Chevrolet, together let's drive. GMC, we are professional grade.
Northside Levy, where they are right.
Well, Eric, from Westerville, Ohio to Cincinnati, Ohio, all through the region. We've got fans following us on Video Productions. Maya Jones watching in Cincinnati, and we appreciate everybody on Video Productions. Out of the timeout, Beckley will have it.
And this is a good timeout, right, from Ron Kidd. Let's credit his coaching at the end of the third quarter, putting Lucas Rainey in to hit the three. And right now you don't want the game to get away from you, and I like that timeout, but you got to do something with it.
And Eric, what you talked about right there at the end of the third, that's the difference in the game right now, the three ball, right?
It is.
Here's Burdett on the drive. Gets into the lane, attacks, and it's going to be a held ball. That should be a held ball as he went right into the teeth of the defense, and the possession will keep it with Beckley.
And one too many dribbles right there, Gage. Gage Burdett, pull up, shoot it, or kick. He had on the weak side, had an open look.
Conaway will check back in. Nichols will have a seat. Burdett will inbound on the baseline. And he's having a hard time getting it in, and he can't get it in. And great defense by the Bees, and it's a turnover.
Yeah, it's been close to 5 previous times, and that's just been a struggle as Beckley's going to extend this defense.
It'll be McLean to put the ball in play for East Fairmont. And they get the ball in to Caden Cooper. And now to Brand, and here comes the Bees. Bees trying to see if they got some sting in them here, Eric, in this fourth quarter. Brand off the dribble. Pull up on the baseline and knocks it down. Good-looking shot, and the Bees are now within one.
And all 5 of the points in the quarter by Brand.
It's kind of the way the girls' game went. Beckley led for most of the game, and then East Fairmont pulled it out. And Beckley's led most of the game in this one, and East Fairmont trying to pull it out here in the final 5.5 minutes.
And you said it at the top of the broadcast. That's why you play all 4 quarters, and the team's not giving up. And really, you can see the pep in their step defensively.
Rainey dials up a 3. It won't go, and the rebound is to East Fairmont and a chance to regain the lead. They haven't led very much tonight, as Brand will dial up a 3, and it won't go. And Clary with the rebound for Beckley.
That was a heat check from Brand, right? 5 straight points, and a little too quick of a shot for me.
So Clary will reset the offense, and he'll try to get the ball to Burdett. And nice denial defense that time by Beckley. And when I say Beckley, that's the young man's name into the ball game, Jaden Beckley. And the ball's out of bounds. It'll stay with the Flying Eagles.
And on the spin right there, Clary's idea was good. Pass was bad. Bounce pass gets right through for a layup to Clark.
A.J. Thomas to inbound, gets it to Clary. A little mid-range shot. That's going to be short. It is. And the rebound.
Falling away.
Yep, the rebound to Jason Beckley.
Oh, nice.
Brand shaking and baking. He almost lost it, but able to run it down. So East Fairmont's got 2 players named Beckley, and they're playing against Beckley. How about that? The ball's loose in traffic. Cooper dials up a 3, got a good look, and goes right down the chute, and East Fairmont has regained the lead. Beckley's been in a lot of close games this year, and they've lost most of them. Rainey on a drive, tough shot, he knocks it down, and he draws the foul and has a chance for a 3-point play and give Beckley the lead if he can make the free throw.
And that's going to be whistled on Beckley, Jason Beckley. It'll be his first and the team's second of the fourth. But this is a big 3-point play attempt here, as Beckley went 0 for 2. They're 0 for 2 from the free throw line here in the second half.
Lucas Rainey entered the ball game averaging 7 a game. Free throw on its way, knocks it down, and Beckley's regained the lead by 1. So a 3-point play the old-fashioned way. You know, Rainey's in there to dial it up from downtown, but that time, Eric, like I said, the old-fashioned way, and Beckley, like I said, has regained the lead as we come up on the halfway point of this fourth quarter. And we got a timeout by East Fairmont, a full timeout. Exactly 4 minutes remaining in the game. And Beckley, or I should say here in regulation, and Beckley leads by 1, 45-44. We'll take a break. We'll be right back here on Video Productions.
Before you hit the Hatfield-McCoy trails, fuel up the way West Virginians do at Little General Stores. We're proud to be part of your ride. Rooted in West Virginia and built for the back roads. Little General Stores. Fuel your adventure the West Virginia way.
Here we grow again. Pioneer Community Bank is proud to offer a network of banks right here in our communities. By offering you more locations, Pioneer continues to meet all your banking needs where you are. Please stop by our New Harper Road location. We are truly investing in Southern West Virginia. Pioneer Community Bank. Friendly service, great products. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And it's crunch time in Beckley. Exactly 4 minutes remaining in regulation. East Fairmont with possession of the ball, Eric, and Beckley with a 1-point lead at 45-44. And side out to our right, and the ball will come into the backcourt to Brand. Brand, as of late, has had the hot hand for the Bees. Cooper's the team's leading scorer that has it now. Cooper trying to take Clary off the dribble, leans in, tough shot. Clary played him really strong, and Preston Clary able to come out of there with the rebound. So every possession's big, especially here in a tight game like this. A.J. Thomas into the lane, over to Clark. A little pull-up about 10 feet, in and out, won't go. And the rebound to Conaway for the Bees of East Fairmont.
Wow, that ball did everything but
go in. Yep.
Now it's all about just plays, right? You said win the quarter.
Yep.
And this is a big three.
And a wide open three is good. A splash down by Cooper, and East Fairmont has regained the lead. Rainey with it. Coming up on the 3-minute mark here of regulation. Here's Wines. They double team Rainey. They force him to pick up his dribble. Beckley might have to restart their offense.
Yeah, they're going to run. I heard them call out motion. We get some flow to the offense here.
Rainey on the dribble. A.J. Thomas shoots for the lead. It's in and out. It was a good look. And East Fairmont now with 2.5 to go, Eric. They have the ball and the lead. And here's Cooper with it. And as East Fairmont looks like, I think they're going to call a timeout, maybe. Coach looks like he's going to call a timeout, and he does with 2:18 remaining in regulation. East Fairmont has the ball. They lead by 2. We'll keep it here and tell you that tonight's game is brought to you in part by Exit Elevation Realty. If you're in the market to buy or sell your home, you want to contact the folks at Exit Elevation Realty. Luke Richmond, the broker, Steve Morgan, the associate broker. You can check them out on the website at exitelevationwv.com. Also, the game tonight brought to you by Edward Jones. Edward Jones has 4 great financial advisors that will help walk you through your financial goals, whether you're changing jobs or you're retiring. That's Heather Cantley, Brooke Dempsey, Ben Worley, or Tracy Howe. Also, the game tonight brought to you in part by Hart's Cabinets. Been around since 1974, located in MacArthur, West Virginia. And they're a proud sponsor of local sports, 304-252-2917. And the fine folks of Infinity Coal Company. Infinity Coal Company, they are division in Infinity Coal Company division located in Sophia, West Virginia. They take pride in producing coal that fuels progress around the world. From the heart of coal country, United Coal delivers the resources that strengthen industries and community. All right, Eric, what's the strategy? 2:18 left in regulation. East Fairmont has possession of the ball and up to 47-45.
Yeah, we just got to, Beckley, if you're Beckley, you just got to play with some urgency. You don't have any fouls. You're going to have to really gamble on defense because East Fairmont's going to run clock. 2:18 in the lead.
And speaking of fouls, as you mentioned, Beckley has not committed a foul in this fourth quarter. East Fairmont committed 2, and they were early in the quarter. And here's Brand with it as Wines will get him. Beckley will play man-to-man. Robinson will check into the game for Beckley, and he's on defense now. Beckley, you can afford to be a little aggressive, and you can foul because, like I said, you haven't committed one here in this fourth quarter as we come up on 2 minutes remaining in regulation. Beckley switches out on everything. Brand on the baseline. Robinson will be whistled for the foul, and that's a good call. As he pushed him as Brand was trying to attack.
And that's his first and the team's
first foul, yep. So like I said, if you're Beckley, you can be aggressive. You don't want to overplay if you're Beckley and give them a backdoor layup.
No, but on-ball defense, you really have to dig down and go.
So on the baseline, East Fairmont will put the ball in play. Brand looks, trying to get it in. They finally get it in up underneath. It's double teamed. It's a stolen. And now he sure did. Beckley got the steal, and then they turn it back over.
He stepped back.
You are correct, Eric. The referee right there on it with a great call.
The extra step. He switched his pivot foot.
You know, we've seen all year, but especially when these games are tight, here's a pass down low. It's just tough to get it in. And that time, you know, Conway elected not to go up with it. And now Beckley gets the turnover. They can tie with the 2. They can take the lead with the 3. Here's Wines with it. Robinson off the dribble. Over to Clary.
He can't play tight offensively. You got to go take the best available shot.
Here's Robinson. You know, he's always looking to shoot. Penetrates. He probably got away with the ball. No, he didn't. And Beckley turns it over. Just wasn't nothing there.
That's reminiscent of 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
Against the ball down, it's like a carbon copy.
Yeah, against Greenbrier East, Beckley had been down the whole game. They came baand they were down 1 and had 2 chances to take the lead late in the game at East, and they turned it over each time. And Clary almost committed a foul, and now he does commit the foul. As that time it looked like that when Cooper looked like he slipped and looked like Clary was going to get the steal. And I thought maybe they were going to call a foul then, but they do eventually call a foul. That's the 3rd team foul on Beckley with 1:09 left here in the 4th quarter, and the first personal foul on Clary. And of course, the hardest thing, we've seen that, Eric, is to get the ball in, right?
Oh, I think that's only the 2nd team foul, right?
Yeah, did I say 3rd? I beg your pardon. You're right, that's the 2nd team foul.
Robinson and Clary.
So here's Brand with it. We're coming up, and a turnover. 2-on-1.
This could be an and one.
And Clark able to finish as we go under a minute to tie the game. And you know, Eric, with 53 seconds, that's a foul on Clary.
Yep.
And that's right in front of us. And I guess that's not a bad foul, but I would say this. 51.3 seconds, or to hold it for 48 is a long time to hold it. But if I was Fairmont, unless I got a layup, I'd try to hold it for the final shot of the game.
And now here's where you don't want to foul if you're Beckley. You just want to play straight-up defense, and you don't want to send them to the free throw line.
Well, they've got 3 team fouls, and here's Brand with it. And to see if they may run the clock down to in the 20s and then call a timeout. Beckley thought there was a travel, and I think that's what East Fairmont's going to do, run the clock down and then call a timeout and try to set up to win the game. Unless Brand can take it right here as he goes in. Wild shot, and that's a blocking foul on A.J. Thomas.
All day long.
Yes. Beckley doesn't like it, but it was clearly a foul, and that'll get Brand to the line to shoot 2.
He slid over in front of him.
Yeah, easy play to call. So Brand will be at the free throw line, and he'll shoot a pair and try to give the lead to East Fairmont with 28.7 remaining here in regulation.
And Brand has scored 5 points on the night, and all 5 in this decisive 4th quarter. A big 3 and a 2, and with a chance to, with 28.7 seconds to go, put East Fairmont up 2.
So Brand, the southpaw, at the free throw line. First free throw, and it's good. When it first hit the rim area, it looked like there was no chance that was going in, right?
Hey, that's called the shooter's roll.
Yeah, that's called living well. And checking into the lineup will be Beckley. Jason Beckley will check into the East Fairmont lineup. And do we have a timeout? I think we do before we shoot the second free throw. So with 28.7 remaining in regulation, East Fairmont leads by 1, 48-47. And there'll be another free throw, and this looks like a full timeout, so we'll take it with them. We'll be right back on Video Productions.
Choice Pre-Owned Auto Sales is a proud supporter of all our area middle school and high school athletics. Direct Choice Pre-Owned Auto Sales keeps a huge selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs with some of the best prices in southern West Virginia. We also have several lenders for your financing needs. Direct Choice Pre-Owned Auto Sales and your student athletes, a winning combination.
This new year, give your home a fresh start with a brand new view from Window World of Beckley.
At Window World, we believe all homes deserve comfort, energy savings, and style all year long.
With our energy-efficient windows and doors, Window World has you covered.
Give your home the view it deserves this year with new windows and doors from Window World of Beckley. New year, new view.
We'll set the scene for you. It's a 1-point East Fairmont lead, 48-47, 28.7 remaining in regulation. And out of the timeout, it'll be Brand at the free throw line. He made the first of two, then Beckley called a timeout, so now he will shoot the second free throw. And, of course, the strategy changes, depends if he makes it or if he misses it. But either or, well, especially if he misses it, Beckley gets the rebound. Unless you get something quick, they may hold it for the final shot to try to win the game. We'll see. Brand at the free throw line trying to make it a 2-point lead. And East Fairmont has a couple fouls to give. They've only committed 2. Second free throw is good. He got them both, and it is a 2-point lead.
Yeah, the first one was the tough one.
Here's A.J. Thomas with it. Beckley calls the timeout. We'll keep it here, 24.4 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Eric, what I say on top, if Beckley doesn't get out of the 40s, they wouldn't win this game. They've scored only 7 points in this quarter.
Yeah, they've been outscored, 11-7 here in the
13, right? Yep, it was 40-36 at the end of the third. And remember,
yeah,
I said back if they don't get out of the 40s, they're not going to win the game. So while we got a minute, we appreciate all of our sponsors. Let me give them a nice shout out. That's State Farm Insurance, Scotty Brown, your State Farm agent in Shady, Direct Choice Pre-Owned Vehicle Lot, Exit Elevation Realty, Edward Jones, Allstate Insurance, Parts Cabinets, Leisure Lanes, Infinity Coal Company, Pasquale's Italian Restaurant, Pepsi of Southern West Virginia, Modley's Plumbing and Heating, the Spartan Factory, and Cracker Barrel. So here, Eric, if you're Beckley, you're down 2. I think if you get something quick, you can go. But other than that, I think I might hold it for the final shot to tie the game.
Yeah, I really don't think Beckley's good at holding the basketball. Yeah. Their offense kind of gets stagnant. You got to take the best available shot of. I mean, I'm stating the obvious.
Yeah.
But I think I go quick. But try to give myself a chance to rebound.
With only 2 team fouls, if you're East Fairmont, I think that if Beckley gets the ball and they start to penetrate, I think you would foul and make them take the ball out of bounds. You can do that. You can do that twice. 24.4 left in regulation. It's a 2-point lead for East Fairmont, 49-47. Beckley will have the ball across the way, side out, and putting the ball in play will be A.J. Thomas. And now they switch, and they'll have Lucas Rainey to put the ball in. And the ball comes to A.J. Thomas. Final 20 seconds. Clary with it. Clary spins into the lane. They cover him up. Final 14 seconds, and we got a foul. And that's, like I said, that's a good foul because there's 12.6. Now you can foul him one more time if you're East Fairmont, especially if you get beat on a drive, Eric. Right?
And this is where Beckley has had trouble getting the ball in all night.
Of course, that's the 4th foul on Brand, and he can't foul. They get the ball down low, an easy layup. As soon as you say that, Eric, they get an easy layup and a timeout for East Fairmont with 9.1, and the game is tied at 49 as Clark able to sneak in and catch, shoot, and score. And now East Fairmont will set up, which could possibly be the game-winning possession here with 9.1.
And we knew it was going to come down to this, man. It's been a good game, well-played contest. And let's see what East Fairmont draws up here. They got to go to length of the court. So after the timeout, I knew you could run the baseline.
You can.
Before. After the timeout, you're stationary.
No, because after the basket's made, you can still run it.
Well, I didn't know if it switched after a timeout.
No, but here's the thing. 9.1 is plenty of time for East Fairmont to get the ball up the floor. Another thing, too, Eric, Beckley has to be careful. They have 4 team fouls. If they commit a foul, that will get it to the free throw line.
Yeah.
Can they run the baseline? Yes, they can run the baseline. We're getting that from the official, Jay Rutledge. So 9.1. And if you're Beckley, like I said, Eric, you can't foul because you'd be over the limit in fouls.
So how do you play this? I put someone on the ball. I wouldn't guard the ball. I'd have my extra guy.
Right,
floating.
and they're not doing that.
I would make the entry pass a little harder. Don't get beat deep though.
And they try to get the ball in. They do to Brand. They double team him. He's got to go quick. You don't want to foul. And East Fairmont trying to call a timeout, and now they do or they don't. They don't give it to him. They try to call a timeout. Here's a half-court shot, and it hit the front of the rim. But East Fairmont looked at the official and tried to call a timeout twice, and they were not granted the timeout, and we'll go to overtime. Oh, my. Tied at 49. Extra basketball. We'll take a break and have the overtime session for you here on Video Productions. Well, we got extra basketball, Eric, and it's been that good of a game, and we're tied at 49. We'll have an extra session of 4 minutes, but, during that commercial break, we were trying to figure out why the referee didn't give East Fairmont the timeout, because clearly we looked on the video, and the young man with the basketball tried to get a timeout twice. Yeah, let's see if we got that replay, if we can get it.
The thing was, he never signaled timeout. He kind of said timeout, timeout, timeout.
Well, right there. Well, that's the steal. That's the last play. We didn't get it. But the opening tip here, or actually the overtime tip, rather, is brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Scotty Brown is the local State Farm agent. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. You can dial him up at 681-238-6130. So we're ready for the overtime play, 49 apiece. It'll be Clark in the center circle, and Clark will jump against Conaway. And whatever the situation is across the way, they've got it cleared up. We're ready to go. And we got extra basketball. And the ball in the air, and the tip is controlled by the Bees. They'll have first crack at it here in the extra session. Brand is playing with 4 fouls. Beckley has 14 fouls. The next foul will be over the limit. And here's a drive right to the basket. A lot of contact. The shot is missed. No foul called as McLean goes hard to the basket. And back the other way now. Beckley with a chance to grab the lead in overtime. Robinson off the dribble. And now Coach Kidd wants to bring him out and try to spread the floor. And they'll have Clary to run the offense. Clary off the drive. Wines with it, spins. Wines with the left hand, scores! And Beckley has the first 2 points of the overtime. That was a nifty move by Wines. And here's Cooper with it. Cooper on the drive. And that's a blocking foul, and that'll be free throws because Beckley's over the limit.
Yeah, and that time Preston Clary just got beat off the dribble. And I'm telling you, it looks like they have been sliding all over the floor tonight. Remember that Lester Hayes, that stick-em that they used to put on? But so, look, they're all checking their shoes, I'm telling you.
So it'll be Caden Cooper at the free throw line. He'll shoot 2 and try to tie the game here in overtime. First free throw on its way is good.
That's 21 points for Cooper. Came in averaging 20.
Beckley's out of the 40s. And I said for Beckley to have a chance to win this game, they have to get more than 40. He misses it, but the offensive rebound to Fairmont. Here's a 3 for the lead. It's good. Right down the chute by Taylor. And that turned into be a 3-point play the tough way.
And what did I tell you at start the second half? The defensive rebounds for Beckley have been subpar.
Here's Clary with it. Wines. Around the horn they go. A.J. Thomas shaking and baking. Nothing there. Back it back out. Clary into the lane. They cut him off. A.J. Thomas, little mid-range. It won't go. And East Fairmont with the ball and a 2-point lead here with 2:18 left in the overtime. Here's McLean with it. High ball screen. Clark on McLean. Conaway with it. They want to get the ball out of his hands to Brand. And Wines commits a foul, and that will put Brand to the free throw line. Beckley over the limit. And that's what you didn't want to do, especially down 2, right, if you're Beckley.
Did not want to reach.
Yeah, and you didn't want to foul him, out near midcourt if you're Beckley. You want to play good defense, but you don't want to foul him, 45 feet away from the basket.
And Brand is 2 of 2 from the free throw line. The lefty And, is coming up big here in the second half.
So Brand will try to add to the lead here with 1:56 left here in the extra session.
Came in averaging 14 and has 7.
First free throw's good. And that's a real big one, Eric, because now it takes it obviously to a three-point game, and it's still a one-possession game. And this would be big if he could hit this if you're East Fairmont. Second free throw, he got them both. Now it's a 2-possession game, 4-point lead.
And if you're Fairmont, you still can play. East Fairmont played tough defense.
Yeah.
You only have a foul to give.
Here's Robinson with it. Robinson into traffic, down the lane, tacks the basket, and he shot it too strong. And East Fairmont comes out of the rebound. A minute and a half remaining in the overtime. And East Fairmont wants a timeout. And with 1:30 left here in overtime, East Fairmont leads by 4, 55-51, and they have possession of the ball. And this is going to be a full timeout, I believe. And it is, so we'll take it with them. We'll be right back on Video Productions.
Before you hit the Hatfield-McCoy trails, fuel up the way West Virginians do, at Little General Stores. We're proud to be part of your ride. Rooted in West Virginia and built for the back roads. Little General Stores. Fuel your adventure the West Virginia way.
Here we grow again. Pioneer Community Bank is proud to offer a network of banks right here in our communities. By offering you more locations, Pioneer continues to meet all your banking needs where you are. Please stop by our New Harper Road location. We are truly investing in Southern West Virginia. Pioneer Community Bank. Friendly service, great products. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
A minute and a half remaining in overtime. East Fairmont with the ball in a 4-point lead, Eric, 55-51. They'll inbound the ball. Beckley will show full court pressure. And actually, they'll get off the ball now like they did the time before.
And the thing is, the layup, man, huge miss on the layup try.
And Beckley over the limit. And there's a foul, I believe. Yep, it's a foul, and that will get Fairmont River McLean, Fairmont East, to the free throw line, as he was being triple teamed, and they were all over him right here in front of us.
Yeah, and I think that one was whistled on J-Dub Wines. Was definitely a foul.
His third. And like I said, they're over the limit. So a chance to take it to 2 full possession lead if both of these free throws are successful by River McLean, who came in averaging 13 a game. First free throw on its way is good. And that's one thing, Eric, the free throw shooting for East Fairmont has been good, especially here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, and if they make this, they'll be 5 of 5 in the overtime. 6.
Yeah, I say fourth quarter, but overtime, as Rainey checks into the lineup.
And with this make, could be 7 for 7 in fourth quarter
and overtime. Yeah, coming down the stretch. And both free throws are successful. And it's a 6-point lead with 1:25 remaining. And East Fairmont still has a foul to give. As here's A.J. Thomas with it and making work to get the ball up the floor over to Rainey. Robinson will dial it up for 3. It's short, and the rebound is to East Fairmont. Now really make it tough for Beckley. Brand has it now, and they call a timeout. So with 1:09 remaining in overtime, East Fairmont has possession of the ball. They lead by 6, as this is a 30-second timeout. But, we were thinking in our last commercial, Eric, you as well as myself and our crew of Cameron Ball and our cameraman, Jason Bowman. I've been here long enough, I'm forgetting everybody's name. We've been here. I got in the building like about 11:15 this morning because we had college basketball. The Lady Golden Bears played at 11. You and I did the men's game at 1. Able to leave for a little bit of dinner and then come back. But basically, we've been here pretty much 9 hours, 10 hours here today. It's been one long day.
Yeah, camped out courtside.
Yeah. Like I said, everything's in my brain except for what isn't. So, from the college game, the high school game, rules are different.
Names overlapping.
The team that Tech played today had 2 players from Spain, 1 from Turkey. We had to know all those names. The only turkey I know is the kind you eat, right?
That's it.
All right. So East Fairmont called a timeout. It's 1:09 remaining here in overtime. And if you're Beckley, I guess if you don't get a steal, I think you have to foul, right? You don't really have a choice. And the ball comes into Cooper, and they got a foul, and Clary's going to do that right there. And you really didn't have a choice. So Caden Cooper will step to the line, the 6'3 junior. And I'll tell you, folks, in AAA, I don't know how many teams thought about East Fairmont prior to the season, but they better think about them now. And like I said, Eric, they were 1-2 at one point, and they've gone 13-1, trying to make it 14-1, won 11 of 12, trying to make it 12 out of 13 if they can hang on here in the next 107 in the overtime. And the free throw is no good. And that's the only thing, if you're Beckley, where you have a little hope, a little life, is if East Fairmont misses free throws. And that's the first one they missed in the fourth quarter in overtime.
Yeah, and you got to go down and capitalize. They've missed a layup. They've missed, a wide-open three, just not good basketball.
And they missed them both, so Beckley still got life with 1:05 here in overtime. Here's Clary with it. They don't need a three, but if they got a good look as Rainey dials it up for three and hits. And Beckley calls a timeout. So those were two big misses of the free throws and allows Beckley to come back and hit a three with 58.4 remaining in overtime. As we watch the replay there, as Rainey dialing up. But Eric, the timeouts, some of these teams, they're probably running out of timeouts, right?
Yes, they've been using them.
They've been using a lot of them. As we'll keep it here and let you know that tonight's game is brought to you in part by Leisure Lanes, Johnstown Road in Beckley. And they have a 24-lane bowling center with full-service restaurant. Bring your family, join a league, book your next birthday party or any other event at Leisure Lanes, 304-253-7328. Also, the fine folks of Modley's Plumbing and Heating. They provide professional work, whether it's plumbing or heating. Dial them up, 304-253-HELP. Well, here, I think the same strategy would apply, Eric, but you don't have to foul as quick.
Yeah,
you can let
play some defense.
10, 15 seconds run off the clock before you foul if you don't get a steal within that time.
And what they're doing now is a little defense for offense as they take Jaden Robinson out on the defensive possession and put in some ball hawks. And you got to go for you got to try to get this first initial pass.
Yeah, they haven't been putting a defender on the ball, but they may now since the score has changed. Nope.
Well, I've seen this. They're going to run their pad, their little out-of-bounds football play here.
And trying to get a guy open, and there it comes in. And there's a foul. And that will get Brand to the line. And, he's knocked down free throws.
Though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want a foul right there. There was the trap was set up.
They had him in the corner, right, and they didn't need to foul that
you
quick.
You pinched him to where you're going. You foul the next pass. Right there, you let it go.
So Brand at the line and to shoot two with 56.3 seconds remaining here in the extra session. There was 12-12 at the quarter, 28-20 at the half, Beckley, 40-36, Beckley at the end of three. We started the overtime session at 49, and with that free throw, the lead is now 58-54 in favor of East Fairmont. And Brand,
5 of 5.
Yes, I say he's been really good at the line. He came in averaging 14 points a game. Second free throw looks good and he got them both. Like I said, if you're Beckley, you're just at the mercy of, you got to just hope East Fairmont misses.
But you still have time, though. You got to go down and get a quick one.
Coming up on 50 seconds left in overtime. Here's A.J. Thomas. Robinson from the corner for three. It's short. The long rebound out to Cooper. And Cooper has it. And Cooper will race the ball up the floor, and he'll be fouled. And you got to think, Eric, if Cooper can knock these down and get the lead to 7, that might seal the deal.
Yeah, definitely. And that was, you had an open look and you missed it. This team just comes up short. Can't put my finger on it. Just not able to close out, playing with the lead. Just not being able to do it.
So Cooper at the line. First free throw is good. And if he can, like I said, if he hits this, that makes it a 3-possession game with 40.5 seconds remaining in it here in this overtime session. And the next free throw is not good, but they got an offensive rebound. And the putback is no good. Actually, I'm surprised they shot it there. They really didn't need to. He probably would have gotten fouled. So Beckley still got a little life. Rainey dials up a three. It won't go. Battle for the rebound, and Cooper's got it, and they'll foul him here with 25 seconds left. So East Fairmont coming into this game have won 11 of their last 12. Their only loss, a 2-point loss to Bridgeport, and trying to go 15-3 on the year and try to go 14-1 over the last 15 and trying to go 12 of 13, as that puts a lot of the Beckley fans in the exits. As Caden Cooper at the line, shoots two. First one is good. And that extends the lead to 7. And the second free throw is also good, and the lead is 8. And that probably will do it with the final 25 seconds. And if you're East Fairmont, you do have one foul to give. More likely, I don't think they would give a foul. They'd let Beckley just shoot. Here's Clary with it. Just don't foul him if you're East Fairmont. Final 15 seconds. There's a three put up is good. And was that Robinson?
Yes.
The officials stand right here in front of me, and I should have looked at the monitor.
It's Robinson.
So Robinson hits it, and Beckley calls a timeout with 12.5. So if you're East Fairmont, first of all, you got to get the ball in. And then if you got to get the ball in, then Beckley got a foul to get ready to put Wines in the game. But coming up next week, Eric, we've got, like I said, we've got a busy week. On Monday, you and I will have Charleston Catholic and Beckley girls. And our other crew, Bill O'Brien and Mark Montgomery, will have Shady and Princeton boys. By the way, that's an early start at 5:30. They'll have Shady Ripley girls. Tuesday, you and I will have Greenbrier East and Shady boys. And then here at the Raleigh County Convention Center will be Tech with men's and women's game. And then Friday, the Raleigh County Middle School will have a 4 o'clock, 5:30, 7 o'clock, and 8:30 games. And then next Saturday, you and I will be back here for Tech women and men, and then Bill O'Brien and Mark Montgomery will be at Shady for Pikeview and Shady.
So I'm looking, Maris, at this East Fairmont's region. They're in Region 1, and it consists of North Marion,
which is good,
Brooke, John Marshall, Fairmont, Fairmont, East
Senior.
Fairmont, and
Fairmont Senior.
Yes, and Grafton.
So there's a foul with 11 seconds left. And these are big free throws here because obviously if you miss both of them, a five-point game with 11 seconds, anything could happen. And I believe Brand was the offended party, and he's been really good at the foul line. So Beckley doing everything they can to try to extend the game, but if both of these are successful, I think Beckley's run out of time. And if that's the case, it'll be the third straight loss for Beckley as the free throw's good. And Beckley led most of this game. This game's kind of a carbon copy of the girls' game.
Yep, definitely is. Got to close out the wins.
Brand ready. Second free throw on its way. That one's no good. Loose ball. A.J. Thomas has it. Final 10 seconds, and it's a steal. And Brand gets it, lays it up and in, and that'll definitely do it. 65-57, 2 seconds left overtime. Clary, it'll count if it goes. It doesn't, and that will bring us to the end of the game. Your final score in overtime, it's East Fairmont, the Bees. They defeat Beckley 65-57 with the win. East Fairmont will go to 15-3, and Beckley will fall to 6-8. We'll take a break, come back with the Pioneer Community Bank postgame show, and we'll go over the game, give you the numbers, as you've been watching live streaming coverage of high school basketball here on Video Productions.
Before you hit the Hatfield-McCoy Trail, fuel up the way West Virginians do. At Little General Stores. From the trail snacks to cold drinks and fuel to keep you rolling, we've got everything you need before you head into the hills. We're proud to be part of your ride. Rooted in West Virginia and built for the back roads. Little General Store. Fuel your adventure. For West Virginia.
Hey, my name's Paige, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the crispiness of the breading and the tenderness of the filet. It's tasty, it's warm, it's total satisfaction.
Hi, this is Tanya, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is that warm bun, the perfectly seasoned chicken, and that pickle. Woo! I love it. There's a taste of my childhood in every bite.
We asked the real experts what they think of our Chevys and GMCs, and they didn't hold back.
Come here. Come on. I like the noise of it.
They've tested the seats, the screens, and the tires as well. Now it's your turn. Northside Chevy GMC, approved by kids, loved by everyone. Chevrolet, together let's drive. GMC, we are professional grade.
Northside Chevy, really alright.
And we welcome you into the Pioneer Community Bank postgame show. Final score in overtime. The Bees of East Fairmont defeat Beckley 65-57. The first quarter was back and forth, and it was tied at 12 at the end of one. At the break, Beckley led by 8, 28-20. They did lead by as many as 9 in that second quarter, but they led by 8. So when you look at that 8-point lead, Eric, at the break, and then they end up losing by 8. So from the second half and into the overtime, East Fairmont outscored Beckley by 16, from being down 8 to winning by 8. And in that third quarter, back and forth they went, and Beckley could never get that lead when it was 8. They could never get it to double digits, and it was 40-36 at the end of 3, and they battled in the fourth quarter. Obviously, the game goes to overtime, tied at 49, and then East Fairmont able to win 65-57. But like I said, an 8-point lead at halftime, and as you move in to the second half and into the 4-minute overtime. So you're talking 20 minutes of basketball, the 2 8-minute quarters of the third and fourth quarter, the 4 minutes of overtime. East Fairmont outscored Beckley by 16.
Yeah, and here's the one that's going to stand out significantly is in the overtime. They made more free throws than Beckley had points.
But we'll get to that here in just a second. And like I said, I got to get the sponsors in, and then I know you're going to total that up and you're going to give all the numbers, and we'll do that. Inside the numbers are brought to you by Direct Choice Pre-Owned Vehicle lot located at 4631 Robert C. Byrd Drive, West Virginia's best selection and prices on pre-owned vehicles. Also, Inside the Numbers brought to you by Allstate Insurance, located at Market Road in Beckley. Lori Richmond, the agent, 304-252-8646. You're in good hands with Allstate, and now you're in good hands with Eric Thomas. Eric, you have all the numbers of this East Fairmont overtime victory.
Yeah, and East Fairmont came in, and they had 4 guys. They only had 5 people score, but 4 guys did work, 4 double-figure scores, led by Caden Cooper, who came in averaging 20 points on the year a game, had 24. And Hudson Brand, if you want to give a game ball out, second half, he had 0 points in the first half. Got his season average of 14 points in the fourth quarter in overtime.
And big free throws down the stretch.
Big free throws down the stretch. And as I was going to give, they went 11 of 14. East Fairmont went 11 of 14 in the overtime period to outscore Beckley 16-8 to take the game in overtime. And Beckley was led by Preston Clary with 18. Lucas Rainey had 12. And Jaden Robinson 9 points for Beckley. And just not enough. This team can't put my finger on it. Yeah, I can. I can put my finger on it. They just don't know how to close out when things get tight. They just don't know how to close out games.
And, you know, Eric, too, you look at Gage Burdett, and I know he didn't start tonight because of a senior night, but then he seemed like he got in foul trouble. He never kind of got in the flow of the game. You always count on him. And then, of course, Isaiah Jones, he didn't start tonight because I think of senior night. He never got really in the kind of the flow of the game either, and it just could never – I would just could never get going. Kingston Clark had his moments, but, you know, there were times it looked like Beckley had control. But if you remember, I said at halftime when they were up 8, these first couple 2-3 minutes,
first 4 minutes,
is going to. Will Beckley get it to double digits? Will they get the lead up? Will East Fairmont hang around? And East Fairmont hung around enough to get the game in overtime and really dominated the overtime session.
And that is a tough team. And I went over their region. They're in Region 1, and only 2 teams can come out of it on that side. And you know, you have North Marion, who you lost to, but You lost to Bridgeport's on the other side, and the other one is for your rival, Fairmont Senior.
Right.
I think those 3 teams will be in the mix.
And speaking of Fairmont Senior, East Fairmont, their next game is Fairmont Senior on Tuesday.
And I will be anxious. I'll be checking that one out.
So they come off this big Beckley win on the road, and they will get their rival for the Flying Eagles, Eric. As I look ahead, they will be on the road on Tuesday. They'll go to Riverside. So what Beckley's got that lies ahead of them, Beckley has Riverside. They have to go on the road. And they have to go on the road to Cabell Midland and Shady, Jefferson, and Martinsburg. And then Beckley will have one more home game. Is that correct?
Against GW.
No, two more home games. I beg your pardon. Shady, and then the final regular season game against George Washington. So Beckley will have 2 more home games. And, of course, you want to win as many games as you can, but in the big picture, when the postseason comes, everybody's 0-0, right? But what it's going to do for Beckley, I think any chance of hosting may be out the window, and they'll have to do it on the road.
Yeah, they will. I mean, I don't know how it stacks up in the region, but you still have Cabell Midland to play, but you got to go there. You have George Washington. It's probably the number 1 seed on this side of the region. So the Riverside game looms huge.
Yeah, it does. All right, well, Eric, it's been a long day, but we've enjoyed it. Before we say our goodbyes, your final comment of this game here tonight.
Hey, I'm anxious. You and I go to the state tournament, and I really think we just saw a state tournament caliber team, and I look for this team to be down Charleston challenging.
Well, one thing about it, the Bees got a lot of sting in them, don't they?
They had some sting for sure.
Yes, they did. All right, we appreciate our crew. Chase Bowman did a great job, as always, with the Cameron. Of course, Cameron Ball, he was outstanding all I can say all morning, afternoon, and night, because we've been here in the morning, afternoon, and night. We appreciate Cam Ball. From my partner, Eric Thomas, I'm Maris Lowry. Once again, the final score, the Bees of East Fairmont defeat Beckley in overtime by the score of 65-57. Good night, everybody.